It's the starting lineup. Kip Keefer, Tony Curry, the legend, and Case Keefer bring it every week.
The coaches don't like what's going on.
Fellas, wow. Congratulations.
Weather is of universal appeal. It affects you and everybody watching.
Because you're real, legend. You're authentic. You've lived it.
You never know who's going to be in the starting lineup.
The starting lineup, 10:30 to 11 on ABC 3340 every Saturday morning. Hey, welcome once again to the starting lineup. I'm Tony Curry. Kip Keefer's off this weekend. He is a busy man. We got the legend, of course, the Legend's Cave. 5 minutes of, what do you call that? Just you blowing
chaos,
some
chaos,
steam.
baby, chaos.
He's going to be coming up a little later on the show, and our special guest, Stuart Rome from the Woodhouse Day Spa, one of my favorite places, the favorite place in Birmingham when it comes to spa and luxury. He does a fantastic job, and we got such a wild weekend too. Of course, Elite 8 weekend. It's all set up. We got our 8 final teams next Saturday from 10:30, 11 o'clock. Of course, we got the games coming up on Saturday and Sunday. We are going to have the Final Four, a Final Four show, unlike any show you've ever seen, next Saturday, so that's going to be fantastic. We got women's basketball going on, Sweet 16 down at the BJCC, which is good. We got Major League Baseball kicking off. And, of course, we've got our special guest here. So this show is on fire. We're good to go. And, of course, we'll be checking in with Case Keefer and Kip live from Las Vegas, giving us some more plays for this weekend. But how you doing, Legend? Everything good?
Man, Tony, I've been doing great. It's just such an honor. I was telling somebody this morning, man, it's a good day because I get to hang out with Tony Curry, a Birmingham legend, a national legend. He like ZZ Top. He's nationwide.
That's
bro.
right.
I mean, just to hang out with this man, it's an honor, brother.
Well,
it's an honor.
I appreciate it. It's an honor to have Stuart here as well because Stuart and I have been friends for several years. He's got the Woodhouse Day Spa, had a place down in New Orleans, then of course opened the one up here in Birmingham there by the Summit, right by Saks. I love it because it's right there. It's tucked in that first little drive. You don't have to drive through all that other garbage up the top of the Summit. Not garbage, but other stores, parking and stuff. It's just tucked right in. You got plenty of parking. It's great. And of course, with spring now being here, we got Mother's Day coming up. We got Father's Day coming up. We've already gone through Valentine's Day, Christmas, and all those things. But it seems like almost every other week there's something special to go to the Woodhouse Day Spa to get yourself a gift card or get yourself a wonderful massage or something.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to have a reason, right?
No.
We have extra special reasons with Mother's Day coming up, and we have graduations, we have weddings coming up, so we have bridal parties, we have some private rooms to handle those kind of things. Then when you get into, like I said, graduations, and then you get into summer, and everybody wants to get waxed and all these great things for the beach. And
you think our legend needs to be waxed?
I think so.
Like the 40-year-old virgin, baby. You know,
only if we do it live.
Yeah, only if we do. We've tried to do that once. We'll try to do that again. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com, Birmingham.woodhousespas.com, 905-7676, 905-7676. I'm a guy, don't like the online shop. I like sites that are very easy to navigate, and your website is fantastic. It constantly changes. You can check it out new every day. And, of course, along with that, we've got some Final Four stuff coming up. We got anything that you could think of, like National Championship package, Final Four package, slam dunk, Woodhouse package, something like that we could throw out there?
Well, we didn't put anything officially together, but we could play like a little game of my Final Four services that I would recommend.
Okay, great, good.
So say if we did the 80-minute massage versus the signature hydrofacial.
Okay.
And then another bracket we could do the meditative mood soak bath, right? And then we could do, say, a nail service like a holistic pedicure.
Yeah.
I would say probably the hydrofacial would win out, and then I would say the mood soak would win out. And I think between the two,
wow, the mood
personally,
soak.
the mood soak, the 80-minute meditative mood soak would probably be the winner.
Let's talk about the mood soak. What is this mood soak
I like this
mood soak sounds good.
got me drooling over here. I don't know. It sounds like a big cup of soup with me in the middle of it, loving it.
So we have this room called the tub room, right? And it's got a full massage table. It's like a massage room, but it also has a old claw tub, right?
Yeah.
So you basically, the therapist will take you into the room. You're gonna have this warm bath already made for you. We'll have some various salts in the bath.
Nice.
You're gonna take about a 20-25 minute tub soak. The massage therapist is gonna leave the room. You're gonna relax. You'll probably fall asleep. massage therapist will come back in the room after the 25 minutes, and then you're going to get on the table and you're going to get another 1 hour massage following.
Nice.
So
wow.
it's like it's an incredible service.
It's a slam dunk too.
Yeah, and we've got some other things like that, but I think that's one of my favorite services.
Yeah, and I've seen a stat that roughly 30% of all men have had some type of massage therapy done, or a manicure, or pedicure, or something like that. That seems a little high for me. But you're the Woodhouse Day Spa, and I've mentioned this before because I've got a gift card waiting at home. I got an 80-minute massage waiting on me, and I like to set it up. Legend, they got this relaxation room, right? So I get there about an hour before. If I have a 9 o'clock massage, I'll get there around 8:15. I take all my clothes off, put my robe on, so I'm just.
You don't want to see that.
I'm just flying high, baby. And I go in that first room. There's a couch that's just long enough for tone the bone. It's about 6'7" long, and I sit there and roll out, and I'll take a nap, and I'll go to my massage therapist and say, hey, listen, wake me up when it's time to go, and I'll fall badass asleep for about 45 minutes. She'll come in and wake me up. That way I'm not sleeping during my procedure, right?
Yes.
You don't want to waste the procedure by falling asleep during it. She wakes me up, I go back on the couch, I take another hour nap, and then I'm out of there by 1 o'clock in the afternoon for an 80-minute massage. Spend some time there, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it's fantastic.
absolutely.
A lot of people have been talking about the weddings and all that stuff, and
Yep.
I know with springtime, all that's, and a lot of people want to know about the drinking situation, because I know if you have bridesmaids there, they're going to want to have a couple of cocktails, some champagne. Tell me how that works. Can you bring your own? Do you serve? How
Yeah,
it works?
well, with the new expansion that we've talked about many times, we have this private room that hold about 14, 16 people, which is usually perfect for like a bridal party. And you'll have that room to yourself. You can bring in your champagne, you can bring in wine, you can have it catered. That room is to yourself. We have all the glasses, we have the glassware, the plates, and all that stuff, so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, you just bring the whole thing in, spend the whole day there. All the bridal, what do you call them? The maid of honor,
The maid
and
of
everybody
honor,
else.
yeah.
They can all get whatever services they want. They just pick off the menu, just like a regular spa day.
Legend, you ever will be a wedding crasher?
You know, I thought about that. I bet you would be a good wedding crasher.
Maybe you and I
I'd just like to
should.
be Tony's wingman. You know what I'm saying?
That would be a little bit too obvious, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't recognize that really tall guy. That he wasn't on the list. You know, you have to get somebody more incognito to
Hey, but
make
do
it
I
work.
have time to ask a question?
Yeah, sure. Of
Absolutely.
course.
And I have some like serious back pains.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all specialize? Do y'all deal with people
Sure.
like me with pains? Do y'all have a specific?
As long as
program?
it's a muscular issue, you know,
Uh-huh.
if it's, of course, like a slip disc or something medical, we don't want to, hurt it even more.
Yeah.
But yeah, muscle, we have deep tissue massages. Massage therapists are all licensed, so they know exactly what muscles to press and how hard to press on them. We have deep tissue. We have a therapeutic stone where we use warm stones that'll heat the muscle up first. That's a great service. So yeah, as long as it's not a serious medical issue, then we can address
Do you
it.
get a lot of people who have to work on concrete like I do?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't.
Construction workers? I mean, I don't know. When I think
There's
of
a lot of
Woodhouse Day
guys out
Spa,
there that
yeah.
probably could use a massage.
Well, the
You
guy,
know what I'm saying?
when you mentioned that 30% of
Yeah.
them, maybe not be high. I think it's probably closer to 22 to 25ish.
Yeah.
But then if you take then you go to the percentage of men that have had more than one. It
Yeah.
skyrockets, because once you get your first massage, you always going to come back. So that probably goes up to 80.
Well, and that's what because my daughter turns 13 here in a couple weeks in April, and I bought her a gift card. Was it 3 years ago?
Yep.
And so like every Christmas, every New Year's, every birthday, every St. Patty's Day, she always thinks for any special holiday she's getting another gift card because she loves the place. She's been to some other places, some strip mall things, but you get the service, the Woodhouse Day Spa. That's the real deal. You get the real deal there. And they're the same people in there too, which I love. The same employees. You're going to a great place when you walk in your favorite restaurant or your favorite whatever it is, and you see the same faces and they're serving you each time, because that means they love their job, they love their work. It's a great place to go. They take care of their customers. They do that at the Woodhouse Day Spa, so it's fantastic. Real quick, Elite 8 weekend. Any big surprises for you? A lot of people trying to make a big bellyache about the fact that there's no Cinderellas, no double digits make it to the Sweet 16 this year now to our Elite 8. And the way I look at it, 7 of the last 8 years, a 1 is 1. Of course, the big dance. Only once have we had all 4 1 seeds make it to a final. It was in 2008. For the most part, the cream always rises, doesn't
I
it?
think this year you're going to have a 1 and a 2 seed somewhere in there. I don't think you're going to have some huge upset going to the final 2.
Yeah.
Now you probably will during the Elite 8 have a couple of upsets, but I think it'll end up with a real high seed, 1 and 2, 2 and 1, something like that.
All right, 905-7676, 905-7676. Better yet, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Stuart Rome. Check out Tony Curry Radio's When in Rome with Stuart Rome, a show we do every single week. It's won awards, fantastic classic rock show. We talk about the Woodhouse Day Spa as well. You can check that out by downloading the TKR app. Case and Kip with plays from the West Coast coming up.
Sound and the thrill of the win. Playing casino games is something everyone should experience. Everyone has a chance of winning, but did you know you have a chance at winning big jackpots? Even former pro football player Icky Woods loves the excitement of possibly winning big.
Woo! I'm a winner! Woo! I'm a winner! Woo! And you can be a winner too!
Only at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino and Victoryland Casino.
Welcome, everybody. It's time for our Zoom session from Birmingham studio to Las Vegas headquarters for Case Keefer. Our weekly discussion during March Madness of what you're going to see today on this Saturday, because by day's end, we're going to have 2 of the teams in the Final Four, and everybody around here, Case, is just buzzing because what Alabama managed to pull off in Thursday night's Sweet 16 game up against BYU, a team that a lot of people thought would be pretty formidable opposition. But I don't care how good a team you are. If somebody lays 25 three-point shots on you and breaks a couple of NCAA records, that's going to be tough for just about any opponent to overcome.
Yeah, you nailed it. I think this is the upside of Alabama, and this is why they're terrifying. I'm probably not going to make any friends saying this, but I don't think they were the best number 2 seed. But I still think if you ask Duke, they would not want to be in Alabama's region as the number 2 seed because they're capable of this at any time. I mean, this is just when you have this many good shooters, when you play this kind of style, which I have always had Nate Oates' back. I love the way that they play. I mean, this is what can happen, and it can happen to Duke too if they're able to do that today. I think you'd much rather want to play a team that, plays a more traditional college basketball style and pounds it in, plays fewer possessions, where you just know, your talent's going to be able to overwhelm them. But I mean, if Alabama's hitting like this, I don't care. I don't care if they were playing Duke tonight, maybe with the game Cooper Flat or on Thursday night, excuse me. I think they were beating anyone. So that's the danger in the Crimson Tide. If they get like that, they can upend this whole tournament. I know everyone's expecting the 1 seed, the favorite Duke, to get there, but this isn't necessarily a great matchup. It's going to be a heck of a game to watch.
I think so too. This could be the game of the whole tournament. The Alabama game was so interesting because the very first basket of the game was Mark Sears with about a 10-foot baseline jumper. I think that's the only 2-point shot he took the entire game. The rest of the time, he was jacking them up. He went 10 for 16. He broke personally a record for most threes in the tournament. Alabama, Loyola Marymount in 1990 had set the record with 21 threes in one game. That thing stood for 35 years until Thursday night when Alabama blew right by it with 25 of them. I remember we were talking about Texas Tech in an earlier round, and I was absolutely flabbergasted that they jacked up 46 threes. On Thursday night, Alabama shot it 51 times from 3 and made 25 of them. That is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's the direction the game is going. I know it's been that way in the NBA for many years. It's taken a while for college basketball, I guess, to kind of catch on, or just this new generation of coaches to kind of work their way into jobs where now that's the norm. But, you mentioned Texas Tech. I feel like they're a good parallel because they play a somewhat similar style, and they've been on the other end of that shooting variance this tournament. I mean, they just can't hit anything. I think they've played really poorly, just have not hit their shots. They were, I think, the 4th best 3-point shooting team coming into the Sweet 16. And in the tournament, they've been like the worst 3-point shooting team around. They can't hit anything. So it just goes to show you when you play this style. Again, I love it. I think it's the smartest way to play. I think you want to be getting your shots from 3 and at the rim. But there's some different ways it can go. And I think Texas Tech has looked a lot more mortal because theirs aren't falling. And Alabama tonight Thursday night looked unbeatable because they were hitting them.
Yeah, just amazing. And I also thought, because you always hear about Alabama's poor defensive play, I thought it was interesting what Mark Sears said. I think it was a halftime interview about how they had held BYU to only 1 3-point field goal in the first half. And he said, our strategy basically defensively was we were going to seriously contest 3-point shots to the best of our ability, which kind of opened up the inside scoring. I don't think Alabama could have forecast they were going to light it up from three like they did, but it makes sense if your attack is primarily threes. If you're making them, if the other team gets some twos, then eventually that's gonna be the difference in a game. And Alabama did a good job, so they can play a little bit of defense in certain situations. I think the label that they play no defense, BYU scored 90 points and lost, but that's kind of an Alabama game. It's more of an NBA kind of a game.
Yeah, I mean, they scored 90 points, but on just a ton of possessions. I mean, if you whittle it down, it's not like their efficiency was that terrible as bad as it looks. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and argue that they're like a good defensive team or even one of the better defensive teams, but all year, and we've talked about this on our other show, I did think their defensive issues were a little bit overblown just because of that total mentality. Like you see the scores in their game. I mean, I think they are able to get stops when they really need them. You know, ultimately, I don't think they probably have the defense to win a national championship. Typically, you see these national champion teams that are a little bit better on the defensive end. But, you know, all this talk of them not being able to play defense at all, I thought was overblown. And the whole talk about Nate Oates not coaching defense, to me, is just the most ridiculous thing ever. I mean, he made his name at, I think, one of those Buffalo teams that ran through the tournament. It might have beat Arizona, DeAndre Ayton. They were like one of the best defensive teams in the country. I think for him, it's more about building around what he has. And at Alabama, he's been able to get these really high-level athletes, and they've been able to play this open 3-and-D style. But it would not surprise me at all if in a couple years down the road, Alabama has one of the best defensive teams in the country. They have under Oates, I think, like his second year. So I think he's a good defensive coach. And I think, especially with time to prepare, like going into the Sweet 16 game, he can come up with some good scheme, some good emphasis, like you said, Sears, I guess, referenced after the game. So, yeah, I'm not as alarmed about Alabama's defense as most people, I would say.
Duke did not have a walk in the park against Arizona. The Wildcats played them tough. They're very athletic. They've got some. Caleb Love has really redeemed his whole career. He was on fire in that game. How do you see this matchup? What are going to be the keys? And of course, if the Tide plays that way, but against Duke, it's not really realistic. It's not realistic for anybody to play 25 out of 51 threes. But what do you think is going to be the keys to this game this afternoon?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Arizona played exceptionally well. I think they were one of the best teams that played on Thursday night. But it's just, it's just kind of unfair going up against Cooper Flag. I mean, maybe it's recency bias, but I don't think there's been a better one and done player since probably Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant. I think he's for sure in that category now.
Because he's so complete. He does it all.
Yeah, he does everything after a performance like tonight. And the thing that just really sticks out to me about Duke is kind of the opposite of what we said at Alabama. Like, yeah, everyone looks at the highlights and, knows Cooper Flag is supposed to be this future NBA superstar, but their defensive metrics, they're the number one defensive team in the country for most of the year. I think they've dropped like 3 or 4 mainly in the tournament, but they just play such good defense that to me, that's really been a more of a separator than you think. I think they played pretty good defense again tonight, even though Caleb Love, I guess he lived up to his reputation as the Duke killer because he did all he could. I think he ended up with 36, gave them a scare again, but so to me, to Duke, I just think it gets kind of overlooked at just how well and how well they switch, how disciplined they are on defense. And if there's one team left that you're going to give me that I really need to stop, I think some people would say Michigan State. They're probably in that conversation. But man, I think Duke's defense is just is such an exceptional unit that's going to be hard to crack.
Well, I don't want to make you crawl all the way out on the limb, but who wins this one this afternoon or this evening?
Yeah, I got to say Duke. I know, not crawling out on a limb at all. I know they're like a 5.5-point favorite right now. I made it 6, so right in the same range. But again, Alabama has the ultimate trump card. You can get hands and faces. You can contest 3-point shots, but all the research, all the data that's gone into it, 3 points comes a lot more down to the shooters than the defense, no matter what you do. So if Alabama is hitting like they were on Thursday, they can absolutely win. But I got to go with, I think Duke's been just off the charts good all year. And if you're just giving me a one-game situation, I can't go against the Blue Devils.
Well, it's a testament to how good Duke is. Alabama coming off that performance, being a 5.5 point dog, is pretty remarkable to start with. We don't have a whole lot of time left, and we haven't talked about the other semifinal today, or the other game to get to the Final Four. And that, of course, is going to be the matchup. Texas Tech came not only from off the mat, from under the mat. I mean, they look buried, done, dead. Arkansas looked a lot more athletic, but the Razorbacks' Cinderella story finally came to end. Texas Tech came roaring back with a 16-3 run to force overtime and then won the game dramatically. But Florida, the other SEC team in the mix, the Gators turned it over 13 times in the first half, and I think that's the only reason that they didn't beat Maryland even more severely. They kept them in the game. But Florida, just a complete team effort without one of their best players. Condon barely played in the game with an ankle injury.
Yeah, and then he finally came back, and I think that's kind of when you saw Maryland unravel. I mean, it was still a close game. I feel like they could have got back in it, but they're a young team. I feel like they didn't have that composure of like Texas Tech. They were in a similar situation and fell apart. But if you've listened to anything I've said or written all year, you can take anything I say about Florida with a grain of salt, because I've kind of been skeptical of them all year, and I've been dead wrong. They just keep getting it done. When the bracket came out, I'll be honest, I was kind of salivating at this matchup. I really thought Texas Tech could be a team that could challenge them. Like in my bracket, I have Texas Tech going to the Final Four. But just with, as I kind of already alluded to, with what we've seen, Texas Tech just haven't looked very good this tournament, even though they're in the Elite Eight. They're missing a Chance McMillan, which I think has messed up a lot of their spacing, has something to do with the three-point woes. But again, this goes back a lot to the three-point shot, too. If you see it flip, and they're shooting so bad these first three games. Maybe it flips and they hit some today, and I think they have a real chance to knock off Florida. I think if you're asking me what's going to be the better game, I honestly, Duke, Alabama has the star power, but I think this Texas Tech Florida game could be a war.
Well, it's going to be interesting because I'm sure that most of the action today around the country is going to go toward Florida and Alabama, who have been dominant teams, and everybody pretty much expected them to be in this position. But so you're giving Texas Tech a realistic shot to pull off the winner against the Gators.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to inevitably end up talking myself into Texas Tech. Well, I might not bet on them. Actually, I have them to win the region at 6-1. But yeah, the sentiment's all in Florida's favor. Texas Tech, we saw, I almost even jumped at this to kind of hedge my position of them as the region winner. But Florida opened a 4.5-point favorite right after the game. Within 30 minutes of the end of the game, now Florida's already up to 6.5. So you see all the initial opinions on Florida. I don't know what it is now that we're going to go off. I wouldn't be surprised if it closes like 7, but I think at this point you can't expect McMillan to come back because it's been game after game he hasn't. But man, I really think Texas Tech is just as good as Florida. You look at shot quality rankings. We talk about the quality of shots you get, whether they go in or not. Texas Tech is the number 2 team in the nation in that metric. I think this could be a really good game, and I still lean towards Texas Tech despite having a lot of hesitation with how poorly I think they played in the tournament.
Well, we've got to go. Thank you, Case, so much. Everybody enjoy the games. Let's go. Roll Tide. Go Gators. The SEC could have 2 in the Final Four by the end of the evening.
We got some of the best clients on the starting lineup, of course, including Stuart Rome here from the Woodhouse Day Spa. Does fantastic work. 905-7676 birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Also want to thank, of course, the fine folks at Sasquatch Toys and Comics. You've seen this on the show. You got an Evil Knievel thing, right? Didn't you get an Evil Knievel?
I sure did. I've been jumping my sink. He crashed last night and he drowned in the water, but I rescued him and revived him.
I mean, that thing's what, from like the 70s?
Yeah, I love it. I wound that baby
thing,
up.
I remember that.
He went right over the sink and hit the very edge of the sink and went into the water.
I reckon if I had a cat, I'd have a good time with that.
Oh, I would.
Anyway, if you got any toys, unopen the box, Star Wars stuff, Legos, you name it, and certainly comics from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Sasquatch Toys and Comics, the place to go right there. And Homewood, they're fantastic. Of course, you know Seth. He's also owner of the Ed's Pet World. Some details on coming up on that joint coming up here shortly as well, but check that out. And of course, K4wins.com. 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 We are hitting about 67% so far on our basketball. We were 12-4 opening weekend. I think 8-2 the following weekend. We have Elite 8 packages. It's free. You can subscribe to it, but K4wins.com. It's the 4Ks. It's Case Keefer. It's Kip Keefer. It's Kai Gregory. It's Tony Curry. And the 4 of us get together, and we are hitting an amazing clip on games. So if you're looking for those winner chicken dinners this weekend, certainly for the Final Four next weekend, check out K4wins.com, K4wins.com. Before we talk about the Elite Eight real quick, opening weekend, in Major League Baseball. No one talk. A lot of people down here. It's funny because we were talking to our good friend Monty Bauer. You don't like baseball. You either love it or you hate it down here, don't you?
Yeah, it's true, Tony. I love it. I'm a big-time Oriole fan. There's a lot of Braves fan. You're a big-time Red fan. Opening weekend, baby. Everybody thinks the Dodgers are going to win it all because they spent all this money. But in baseball, you never know, Tony, how a season's going to go.
Can the Mets make any dent with Soto now going over there? I know that was a big buy for them, and of course he left the Yankees. It's like leaving Auburn to go to Alabama or vice versa, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm really worried because Clay Holmes was their starting pitcher on Thursday, and he was the relief pitcher that the Yankees ran out of town. So when a Yankee relief pitcher was your opening day starting pitcher, I don't know. They may not have the pitch, and he could hit 80 home runs and still pitching horrible, you know.
Stuart, you into the diamond at all?
My team is Cardinals.
Yeah. Okay.
So
all right.
Always has been since I was a kid. My dad used to go to St. Louis for these meetings and bring stamp usual signed pictures and stuff. But I always kind of been in the middle of the pack. You know, I'm not sure how they're going to fare this year, but I love the opening weekend because it's kind of like my official start to the summer. You know?
Yeah, no doubt.
It's great, and although sometimes it's snowing, you know, it's in Boston, New York. But yeah, I love the Cardinals. I love going to games. I really like being at the games. I don't like so much watching them on TV, but I love being there. You know?
Oh, okay.
Just like college baseball is fantastic.
Yeah, when they get the pitch clock thing, I think it was a great idea. Cut about 20 minutes off. I thought it was wonderful. You know, it used to be you turn a game on at 2 o'clock and you got cut grass coming at 4 o'clock. It'd be the fourth inning. Now the game's over.
Right.
So it's kind of like wow. So you have to get after it. And I'm sure for the customer or the patron that's actually watching this games live, they appreciate that. I was pleasantly surprised because I am a Reds fan. I go all the way back to the Big Red Machine days. Now that Pete Rose is dead, maybe he'll get into the Hall of Fame posthumously. Hopefully that's going to happen. I know that more likely it'll happen because they're really waiting for him to kick the bucket first. But Terry Francona, our good friend, who of course we've had on several shows, sports shows we've done. Of course, was a manager at the Birmingham Barons and went to the Red Sox and pretty much has won everywhere he's gone. Is now the new head man for the Cincinnati Reds. So I'm kind of like it. As a matter of fact, on our K4wins.com, I put on the over 79.5 total regular season wins for those Cincinnati Reds this year. So really excited about having Terry Francona in the clubhouse. Sometimes, you know, when they had Dusty Baker, when you get a good guy in the clubhouse, it seems to make a huge difference. So what do we expect this weekend? Elite Eight going on. Congratulations,
basketball.
Congratulations, by the way, to women's basketball, the Sweet 16 going down to the BJCC. Fantastic.
Awesome.
To have anything. But any big surprises so far in men's hoops? It looks like we kind of got rid of a lot of those smaller teams, those mid-majors, a little earlier. Next year, we may actually expand it to 8 or 10 more teams. But it's been a great year, and the big boys will shine.
Yeah, I think we've seen this year that the Big Ten and the SEC has staked claim to supremacy in college athletics, and I think we'll continue to see that. I think Cinderella got sold this year, and she's never coming back again, Tony.
Wow, okay. You know, it's funny because with the NIL deal, a lot of people feel like the rich get richer and we're going to have a separation, but a lot of people believe it's going to add a lot more parity to the game itself, and I guess who knows?
At the top,
you get hot. Yeah, at the top. Well, we know when you're talking.
We only
about
care
this,
about the SEC at the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well,
and Greg Sankey, he continues to say, "I'm looking at the situation."
The Godfather.
Well, the Godfather only cares about the SEC. That's all he cares about. So get after it. All right, check out the Woodhouse Day Spa, Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. 905-7676 for Legend, Kip Keefer, Case Keeper, and of course the entire crew here in the starting lineup. We thank you so much. Next weekend, it's Final Four starting lineup time. Next Saturday right here on ABC.